let's move on to Haas. This has got to be a really interesting year for them because all of the scuttlebutt around the Ferrari power unit is that it's pretty good. There's been positive news coming out. I'm not sure how much to trust it. There's always a swirl of information that you're not really sure you can trust surrounding Ferrari. But at least with Haas, from what I've heard, they look pretty good at testing.
You can trust your eyes, and it looks smooth. The Ferrari power unit looks good enough to get a lot of mileage there. It looks smooth, easy to handle, and the Haas team has done a great job in Bahrain. The amount of laps they racked up was really impressive, and they really didn't go for any glory runs or low fuel laps. They just got through their program, and I can imagine Tim as a driver. It's almost like the dream. You get to your program, your run plans, and you know there's so much still left to give, but you can do that in a Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think for Haas, it was all about just making sure you're doing the basics really, really well. I mean, Io Komatsu even told me that, like, that was going to be so important for them during the testing. I think when we take a look at this relationship that they're building with Toyota and their relationship that they have with Ferrari, they have a lot of positive network around them, so to speak. The engine package is really strong. They accumulated a ton of mileage, which is super important, capturing as much data as they could. And then on the other side of it, you have Toyota that's helping them, behind the scenes and in helping them build their own in-house simulator in Banbury. And that's going to be huge, guys. That's going to be massive for this team to have that driver and loop simulator and have that thing up and working. And for Toyota, I mean, they know how to do that. They can do that really well. And so I really like that partnership that they've started to build out with Toyota. We'll see what it turns into in the future, but this is a great start for this team. Like, they are ahead of the midfield. They are the top dog when it comes to us talking about the midfield. There's no question about it. I think we didn't see what their true pace really is during testing, and I'm excited to see what Ollie Behrman can do in his second season of Formula One. He is super impressive. Esteban Ocon's a different question. Io Komatsu's got a lot of questions surrounding Esteban. He wasn't really happy.
What would those be?
Wasn't really happy with how last year went. He wants more performance from Esteban. He should be able to keep up and beat Ollie Behrman. Behrman shouldn't be beating him, but the thing is that Behrman's really friggin' good too. So it's a tough dynamic that those two got to work with. But I think you've got the right driver combination at this team for this season.
Nelson, you were going to say something there about Ocon too. I'm interested because this is a guy who everybody has always said has a ton of talent, has a ton of pace, but it can be team or it can be him or whatever, hasn't put it together in the way that people thought. Where does he stand now?
So with him, he's in a tricky position. As Tim said, the pressure's piling on from the Haas team, from Komatsu, because he was really outshone last year by Behrman. Behrman was there almost every race. Definitely since the summer break, he really he couldn't keep up. And that shouldn't be the case with a rookie, as Tim said. But he took it quite well. Ocon is known to be quite contentious when things don't go his way, but he took it well. But now he has to turn it around. He has to be there. And spoke a little bit about some changes they made to setups last year at the end of the season, and that by Abu Dhabi he was on par with Behrman. So he's really holding on to that little bit of the sunshine, basically, or a ray of light for him. But how does he adapt to these new cars? Now, circling back to the Haas team, this team knows what it is. They know exactly who they are. They know where they can still gain. They know what is out of reach. They are striking a very interesting partnership, as Tim says, with Toyota, and yes, the driving loop simulator will be massive for the team because now they're just using the Ferrari one, which isn't completely calibrated to their car. But the ability to develop quicker than they have before will be the other thing that Toyota may bring to the table when they start working from, and they have done last year from Cologne, from the Toyota base in Europe, to develop and produce parts quicker. That will be a game changer because Haas quite often fades away during a season. And if they don't this year, that's going to be a game changer for them.
Let's talk about the effect of Io Komatsu on this team because he's been here a couple years now. It feels like a team. It felt like a team through its first decade that just had inconsistency issues, right? And obviously he was a part of the team before that, but I'm talking about his team principal. How has the culture changed, the vibe changed, the processing changed? Like, what are you guys seeing when you're in the paddock that is different about Haas now than before under Gunther Steiner?
It's engineering led.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, buddy. I literally was going to say that, but yeah, I mean, you don't. This isn't a shot against Gunther because he does come on the show every once in a while, and we appreciate him doing that. But it's definitely a different approach, and you're leading more from that technical engineering background that Io has, and the fact that he's been within the team since its inception is extremely important, and probably why they're getting the success that they are getting is because of that. He knows where they need to fix things. He knows what the processes need to be changed. He knows which ones need to be done, and he knows where to put people, right? And I think when we look at team principles now in Formula One, they're changing. These aren't business people who are coming in and being team principals of these teams anymore. They're engineers that are coming in and running these teams now, and that's what you need. That is the direction that Formula One is going in, and I think for Haas making that switch, it was the perfect thing to do for them.
Agreed.
Okay, so Nelson, Tim, let's talk about the constructor standings. Where do you guys have them? Tim, you sort of alluded to it. You had them as the top dogs of the midfield. So where do you put them? Fifth place, which would be, I think, a tie with their highest finish ever, correct?
Yes, but I think it would be a better fifth place than their first time because I think they'll show some consistency this year we've never seen for the reasons we just mentioned, and I agree with Tim. Fifth is the way it's going.
Okay, wow. We got agreement, finally. I think this might be the first time that the two of you have exactly agreed. Well, thank you so much on that one, and we'll move on to our next team here.